Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we'll be talking to a young man who's going to teach all of us to go from dream to achieve. That's next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, the pandemic's been rough on all of us, and I think it's shattered some dreams. A lot of people kind of went into hibernation and they were just fearful about taking chances, taking risks, getting out there, starting a business. And now that COVID-19 is hopefully in your mirror, or at least the economy is starting to reopen, let's talk about realizing your dreams and how to go from dream to achieve. We're going to talk about that with Oginga Carr. He is the leader of Epiphany Consulting. You're a national thought leader and speaker. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm just honored to get the opportunity.
Well, when I talk about a man who has big shoes to fill, go ahead and show those shoes. Come on, put them up. Those are size
16. That's it.
16.
Absolutely. That's it.
You really do have big shoes to fill, literally and figuratively. First, give us a little background on yourself and how you got to get into public speaking and motivating people.
Absolutely. Well, it's all started with me from being in youth sports, really, and being able to see how teams go together. The old adage, together everyone achieves more. And so being able to be in a team and working with people, I played college sports, and I really just saw how it was to be able to work with others and be able to put things together. And so that's what it was for me, being able to figure out how to be able to work in the corporate area and then also help small businesses figure out how to be able to structure themselves in the right way.
Yes, and we found a great video. Let's go ahead and roll that now.
My name is Oginga Carr. I'm originally from Little Rock, Arkansas, but I've been a Memphian now for 7 years. When I think about the team aspect, that's something that's always been a real effect in my life. It's always been something that's been a big part of what it is that I've done. You see, I hit the lottery with my parents. My parents were there for me. I played team sports all the way from 6 years old all the way through college. And my parents never missed a team activity, an activity that I had my entire life. And so I wanted to take that. When I got into corporate America, I wanted to take that team aspect that I learned from team sports and I learned from the support that I got from my parents, and to be able to put it together and be able to do something to change the world. You see, when I was in corporate America, we would just take our employees and just take them and throw them out in the water and see if they could swim. And when they drowned, we just go back and get to the next person. And so I saw how damaging that was for the employees who were there. But also was damaging for us just as an organization, as people. And so we created a movement that we like to call Team Crushing It. What Team Crushing It is that we're crushing our goals faster than we ever thought we would get there. We're crushing those obstacles that are in front of us, and we're crushing life. And I just love the opportunity of getting a chance to be with my people and to be able to run these events and to be able to have the changes that we see happen and just to be a small part of it.
Well, you have so much confidence when you're in front of an audience. Where does that confidence come from?
It really came from speaking at a young age and also from being a Toastmaster. That was one of the big things for me. I actually finished in one of the top 40 speakers in the world way back in 2010. And so I just love the opportunity to get a chance to really motivate, but also educate an audience, to be able to give them some structure, some things to be able to come from it. So I like to consider myself the how guy. It's not about your what or your why, it's about your how. And so it's about being able to figure out how we do that.
I love that. Let's show a cover of your latest book, the Success Recipe book. And I love the name because I think a lot of people kind of talk themselves out of success. They come up with a million reasons why something won't work. Tell us more about the book.
So what we've come to understand is that there is a recipe for success. And that recipe is dream, believe, work, achieve, repeat. So when you have a dream, you have to actually believe, have that dream and have it and know exactly what it is you want. Then you have to have a belief system. The thing is, Jeff, is that so many of us don't even have a belief system into what? If we think these wild, fanciful things that we'd like to get done, we don't have a belief system in how to be able to get it done. And then once you have that belief system, you really believe in your heart you can do it. Then now it's about the work. How do we work? What is it that I can do? What is it that I can delegate? What is it that I can learn? How can we figure out those things? And then once we actually achieve those things, what's important is a part that people leave out, and that is the systems that you need in order for you to be able to repeat it. That's the thing. We want to be able to figure out, how do we create repetitive success? You lost that 20 pounds. How do you put systems in place in order to be able to do that? So you made money at that one thing you did. How do we make sure that we have the systems in place in order to do so? Yes. And so that's the thing that's really important, being able to put that structure into place. And that book really led for a lot for me because it was proof of concept of us being able to create a real program to be able to really show people how they can take their expertise and learn. In that book, we actually had 20 authors in the book, and we interviewed each one of them, and then we took the process and be able to create it and created a book from it. And so now that allowed for us to be able to do more. And so I'm super excited about what we've done with that. We released that right before the pandemic and still has done really well. And so it's been great.
And one of the things you're helping others achieve now is their own dreams of writing a book. We're going to put up your book website, 90dayvictory.com. Tell us more about that.
So that's where the success recipe really led us to. We said, hey, we can take people and synthesize their ideas, and all of us have a book that's inside of us. And here's the thing is that what it's really about for us is experts. So you're an expert at something. That's for such a great time. So you show your expertise now with everything it is that you do. Well, there's people who need to learn from your expertise. And so it's not just about writing a vanity book. What we want to do is write a book that follows into one of these 3 T's, okay? The first T is that it teaches you something. So it teaches you something because many times we get books and courses, they don't teach us anything. And so it teaches you something. You actually have something that you've learned from it. But the next level that we want to look for is that it transforms your life. It's the thing, Jeff. If you are on the side of the road and you read a book on how it was to be able to change a tire, and you were on the side of the road and your phone was dead and everything was gone with it, then now what that allows for you to do is that transforms your life because you could actually change that tire. What we aim for with our books is the highest level, which very, very few books ever get to, and that is it transcends time. So now it takes it, we can do this once, and we can help people over and over again. Something like The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, okay? Written in 1988, still New York Times bestseller list today in 2021. So that's the thing that we look for. We want to figure out how we can do that. And we help take people and their ideas and take them from idea to published book in 90 days.
That's amazing. And these are high quality books. We've got a whole stack of them here. It's got to feel good to help people get a book out from their notepad to print.
It is. What I hear so many times is that people are like, I've been working on this for so long. I've been holding on to this thing for so long. It's been so difficult for me. And it just feels so good to be able to take. Because what we need is that outside, we have those blind spot sensors on our car. Mm-hmm. That's what you need, is someone to be able to help you with those blind spots. Figure out that this is how, when we put that together, be able to see the vision of that and be able to create it and do it in a great way. That's what we're always looking for.
Well, we only have about a minute left. And I want you to look into that camera there on the left, because that's your camera. There's an old saying in the book world, the one-day novel. I'm going to write a novel one day, and one day never happens.
Right.
So the person who happens to be watching this and says, I think I do have a book in me, Oginga, give them some words of encouragement.
Well, I'll tell you this, and this is from my father, David Carr Sr. He used to say all the time, we are a family related by affinity, if not through consanguinity. So what he meant by that is that even though we don't have the blood that goes through the veins that are there, we're related by the love. You have a love of the things it is that you need to do. You have a love of being able to teach people something. You have something that really makes you great and makes you different. It's time for you to put that into a book or put that into a course and share it with the world. If we haven't learned anything else from this pandemic, it's the fact that the world needs more of what it is that you have. You've been sitting here alone with it. It's time to bring it out into the world. Let me be able to be the one to help you bring it to you.
Outstanding. Well, I could talk to you all day long. You are so inspirational. We're going to end with your website. It's ogingacarr.com. Get in touch with him for all your speaking training needs. And obviously, if you have a book in you, make sure you get a hold of him. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.